king right now. We'll talk about Bron right now. Lakers right now. They had a good win against the Clippers.
Yeah, they did. That was a nice one.
Looked really good, especially missing.
But Bron had to play. But Bron had to play his heart out to get that win.
Well, they was missing all their pieces too, so we gotta give them credence there. They're missing almost all they rotation pieces.
Oh
so
yeah.
The four of them.
Hachimura was out.
Prince was out.
Gabe
Prince was out.
But Prince went out the Prince went out ready at the practice, didn't he?
Right that morning. The shooting around. So I mean, they losing guys that play 20 minutes or more. So I mean, still was a good win, right, for them.
Right.
But the game before that, or even talk about LeBron's career, I want to talk about there as far as when he's not in the lineup, his teams get worse. Right,
there's a reason for that.
Like when he's not on the floor, right?
There's a reason for that.
Now I was looking at a video before, and somebody brought up a point, and they said the comment was basically saying like they feel like it's Bron's fault that his teams are bad when he's on the bench.
By what metric?
They feel like because he don't trust nobody to do everything, that he feel like he got to do it themselves. The teammates aren't empowered enough or given the opportunity enough to do those things.
Yes. I agree.
So if you go back to the Nuggets game this year. He went to the coach, they had him mic'd up. He was like, yo, I can play point guard.
Yeah, I can play point guard
so
too.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm D'Angelo, I'm like saying, what you saying? I ain't doing good enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you telling them to not trust me with it or whatever, right? So he was saying a point that like Kobe and Mike, they didn't really do that, right? They wanted you by playoff time, you better get it together. Like you better figure it out. I'm not going to do everything for you.
Right. I'm looking for you to do this and that.
That's what he was saying. He was saying they challenged them to get to that level. So by this time, you better be ready to go, right?
Right.
So he was putting the blame on LeBron for why his teams are worse when he's off the floor.
I'm gonna throw LeBron some bail.
So we're gonna tackle that. I thought that was an interesting comment. I'm
gonna throw LeBron some bail in that aspect, as in when has he ever played with a true point guard? Somebody that actually
Rondo.
But he was coming off the bench. I'm talking about as far as the start.
He started. In playoffs, he was starting.
He started?
Yeah. And they won, right? Like, they won. That was you know what I'm saying? Like, they won.
That was it. I'm talking about any other time, when has he had a true point guard? Other than that time, when has he had it? Every point guard he had.
What do you mean by true?
Meaning they're not scoring point guard first. They're not scoring first point guard.
Come on, this is Bron. He can do whatever he wants.
I didn't say he didn't ask.
I think he's going to get to it. Yeah, I think he's trying. All right, so let's think about it. Probably none, right? None, right?
So in his aspect, and he was hailed as the prodigal child, the guy that knew how to pass when he came in the league. It wasn't about him being able to score. He was an athletic passer. We talked about him being an athletic magic at first before we got to this whole Jordan conversation.
Right.
So in that aspect, he's a point guard. He's a point forward. He's a point guard. He has a point guard's mentality. And what happens, like you said, like Bull said, I agree when he's saying that is his he don't let nobody else take the reins. Yeah. His teams, every last one of his teams are built around him being the point guard. So when he goes out, unless they got a backup true point guard to go out, this outfit is going to stagnate. Mm-hmm. It's going to shut down because you have no other option.
Well, do you think, like, for him though, like if you think it'll be better for him to not try to do so much, right? Because at the end of the day,
he got no choice right now.
You use the regular season to build that up, though, right?
Right. Do you take the L's if it helps the players down the line?
If further down the line, I'm going to get...
That depends on how many L's. That depends on how far you drop. Of course, how many L's,
but that
depends how far you can drop.
Yeah. But do you think the fact that, we heard him mic'd up saying that stuff, right? Imagine what he's saying in the locker room or to the coaches. Maybe this person is better with the ball. Maybe D'Angelo would feel more empowered to be a better point guard, but if he was trusted with it.
You gotta have.
If I'm on it, if Brian just gonna take it and do it my reins, and I'm sitting on the corner, that ain't my game.
That's not something you. That's like a mentality that you have to have. That's not something you just click on like that. That's a mentality that you have to have. Yeah, it's a learn something. It can be learned. Don't get me wrong. The mentality can be learned, but you're not gonna learn that overnight or even in one season.
I don't know his stats. What was he averaging assists when he was with the Nets?
6 to 7. Who? D'Angelo Russell, 6 to 7 assists.
So
6. I think
he has it.
Actually, you know what? Take that back. Let me check.
No, he probably was. No, you're right.
Yeah, I think about like 6 to 7.
That was his leap year. That was
his highest number. That was about his highest number.
But if you saying like obviously LeBron being where he is, to feel like you always can do something better. Not only your team, they rely on you too much. Right, because now. You telling us you could do everything. You showing that you could do everything. But I think if he take a step back, you think it could help him. Because remember, Austin Reeves in the playoffs, That's the most LeBron ever played off the ball. He actually let Austin Reeves
do his thing.
run the offense.
And right now,
Austin Reeves was playing really good in the playoffs.
And right now, Austin Reeves don't even look like he's the same player from last year.
What I would say, that could be the Olympics. Remember, he never got a rest. His legs probably messed
I know
up.
he might be a
So I
little
give him a
worn
little
out.
grace,
Yeah,
right?
he might be a little worn out.
He might be worn out. But, do you think he let Austin Reeves do that?
Yeah.
And we seen Austin Reeves average 20 twice in 2 playoff
But who's
series.
to say that he's not letting D'Angelo and D'Angelo's dropping the ball? You see how many turnovers D'Angelo sometimes be having, or sometimes his decision making out there. Like D'Angelo's decision making ain't been the greatest. Just luckily he's able to score to sometimes augment that or make up for some of the mistakes.
Saying. Like, do you let him make his mistakes? You still talk to him.
Yeah, eventually.
But that again,
see if it changes as he progress.
That depends on the situation.
But
because you got to ask yourself, how long are you going to run with this before? Either you're going to run with that and say, like, let him make his mistakes and see how the team chemistry go, and then let's say it doesn't develop.
You got 82 games to do it.
Right.
You could do 5 games just seeing where it goes. I mean, because eventually, guys, you got sons, right? So when it comes to doing certain things, you want them to try it out themselves first before you'll guide them initially,
right?
But then you're like, all right, go ahead, try.
But maybe he's seeing it. But so you gotta. We're not privy to what goes on in practice.
Yeah.
So maybe in practice they see it and they're like, nah, he can't handle it. Or he
also
maybe
he
don't
ain't
gotta,
ready.
yeah, you know. What I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think another grown man should, be, in charge of another person's confidence. Like, at the end of the day, it's up to you to do what you got to do.
Well, a lot of grown men are in charge.
Yeah, right. But I do feel like watching the Lakers sometimes, though. I feel like, it should be some games where he don't take close to as many shots as AD, right? Let AD take like 20, 25 shots a game.
But see, AD be
He
scared.
should take like 11.
AD
They
like
also look him off, but they do also look him off.
They do look him off.
LeBron do take a lot of threes that he shouldn't be taking.
Think about it though. Like, think about it real quick with what y'all saying. Like, the offense is based around LeBron.
Yeah.
Right. So when LeBron's not in there, or if LeBron's hurt, what offense are we like? What is your offense?
That's the point.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the point. But that's
you
what
need to have an offense for.
But
You need identity outside of LeBron.
Yeah,
But you ain't got
Those teams have an identity, and that falls on the coach.
But but that's been here's the problem. Other than Miami, that's been every LeBron team.
Yeah, Miami was the only time where when he left the floor, it wasn't like
Yeah,
it didn't fall
you had
apart.
D-Wade.
Right, you had another outfit.
They already had an offense.
Right.
Right, as I said, other than Miami,
You know what I mean?
But they didn't let LeBron run that team.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
All his Cleveland years, both his first and his last.
Yeah.
When it was all based around LeBron running the ball, and once he went out, you like.
What's the offense?
Yeah, what's the offense? If Kyrie ain't in there going off, what's the offense?
Right. There's no
Probably a lack of a great coaching and a great roster construction, right? Because you mentioned he never really had a true point guard. So it's like
he wanted to
at the
play
end of
with
the
CP, they didn't give it to him.
Right. If he trusts you, he'll let you rock. But obviously, if you don't trust you, he's not going to let you.
Well,
but that could have been an issue with him and Russ. He didn't trust Russ. So Russ never felt comfortable to be himself.
No.
Well, Russ is gonna make the mistakes
No. I'm not giving him that. We saw the mistakes what Russ was making.
We did, but
he had some good games.
But we also see him with the Clippers that same year become a beast. Same year, he came a beast with the Clippers.
Now,
he was in the playoffs.
That first year, he still had some of them Laker Russ over there. This year, he's became
No.
Decision wise,
No. When he went to the Clippers, he was way more efficient. His numbers went up, and then he went to the playoffs, dropping 30 a game. And having 8 assists and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, towards the end.
Towards the end, right. I'm talking about when he first went. I said when he first went there, you still saw some of that Laker rust still on him. Then as the year progressed,
his numbers was. But as soon as he got to the Clippers by game 2 and 3, everybody said this was a better fit.
But can you say
that's
can you say that's Bron or just the pressure playing? Like everybody says, it's a different pressure playing for the Lakers. It's a different pressure.
And playing with LeBron.
Right. Well, that's another thing. You're playing with the quote unquote argument of being the GOAT.
Remember, KD brought it up some years ago. He said it's a toxic environment when you play with Bron, not because it's just Bron, because the media. Everybody blames you when things happen, right?
So it's so funny.
It could be.
You playing on eggshells, right?
Right. You could be. Right. You could be.
You're not worried about the coach or management.
You worry about
trading. You worry about LeBron trading.
Right. You could. I mean, it could be a volatile situation, but then again, if you take what Kyrie said when he left, as opposed to what he left, as opposed to what he's found out. When he finally out on his own and he apologized, he said, "Yo, I see what you was going through. I see what you was trying to do. My bad." I was when he left, it was all toxic. I didn't like the way the team, everything he was saying. Then when he got to Boston, he got to Brooklyn. He talking about, "I apologize. I can go play. I want to come back and play with you. I apologize. I see what you was trying to do." So I think it all depends. People say that about CP. Playing with Chris Paul, they say sometimes it's a toxic locker room,
right? Because
they mentality of how they like to play or how they like to play the ball,
too.
right? What they expect from their players and their teammates. So I'm not going to
But
fully
he
blame
can't do that
that.
Golden State
Right.
because they already established.
Right.
You're right, but they were saying some players don't reach their max potential because if you got him that's going to do everything,
Then
it's hard.
Did we not have that argument video when I said when players go to play with LeBron, they numbers go
That's
bad?
what I said. I said I agree with it. I'm saying the opportunities are different.
I'm just saying. Did we not have that video?
No, we had that video.
We're right. We had
But
that
AD,
conversation.
but you using AD
Because
numbers
AD
actually went up.
That was AD at the time. I even went back to Bosch's numbers to back it as well.
Because opportunity, right? You go from
And then
first
Kevin
option to
Love.
third.
Right, Kevin
With third
Love.
option.
Right.
That's
So
the team.
I'm
Somebody got to take a back
I'm just
seat.
saying-
Right. Somebody got to take a back
I'm
seat.
just saying.
Right.
I'm just
They went
saying.
to the third.
It's a pattern that follows LeBron when it comes to being on LeBron team.
Well,
It's a
you're the
pattern.
third option. Wade numbers didn't go down
Right,
too
but
much. Wade was getting
so-
older.
so-
Kyrie numbers didn't go down.
So that would follow with Westbrook because Westbrook technically was the third option. It was
Right,
It was
you know what I'm
Brian,
saying?
AD,
Right,
and then
right.
Westbrook. So if you're the third option,
But you're the third option now. His numbers are better.
say what?
He's the third option now, and his numbers are better.
He's
So it's like
he's the third option,
he's
but
the third option.
I don't consider him complete the third option because them dudes don't play. Them dudes is barely there every game.
Well, when they there,
Right,
he's the third
when they there,
option.
the third option. But he got more
Well, Brian
leeway
and AD
there.
wasn't there either. Remember, they was off. They
And when
missed a lot of
he
games
was
too.
exactly, and he still didn't take the mantle when he could have.
Probably the pressure, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. It might be the pressure with the Lakers. But here's a hot topic. This can be completely off subject. I got a question.
Well, if you want to switch to LeBron time, let's finish it.
It's still well, it's not. It's still about LeBron, but it's not on to complete the topic.
All right, let me finish that
Go
out,
ahead.
and then we're
All
gonna
right,
go there.
you
So,
ready?
because they were saying, because I agree with you, you know, somebody maximizing their potential because he turned Mo Williams to an All-Star, never having in his career, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did. Don't
Austin
say
Reeves now look like a dude that can average 18
Right.
to 20 a
Got
game.
Tristan in the contract.
Nobody looked at him like that.
Right.
They still talk trash
Right.
about
Right,
Austin
that's what I'm
Reeves.
saying.
So I
Got
mean,
Tristan a big contract.
yeah, that's that clutch. That clutch.
Nah, what Dellavedova got a contract? Dellavedova got a
Yeah, so-
contract out of that.
Nah, Delly was on. He was on something. That boy was playing like a fiend.
Freaking what's the boy? Timothy Mozgov got a contract when he left Cleveland.
Yep.
So don't say Brian don't do certain things.
Yeah, right. So, but I believe it's more to the coach. I think it's the coach's job to maximize the player's potential, not
But
Brian.
Right.
but that's one of the things when we have that GOAT debate that you talk about. When has Brian actually had a coach?
Never had it.
Right.
I think people don't.
Miami.
People don't state that enough.
Right. When
Except
he
like
had,
Miami.
well, Spoelstra
But
wasn't.
Spoelstra was so young that
Right,
he ain't,
Spoelstra wasn't.
he ain't really even respect Spoelstra like
he's
that.
established now. He wasn't. He was like to me what Phil was.
That was coaching, man. Come on, now.
I know, but see, Spoelstra. I give Spoelstra what Phil was when he took over for Chicago after what you call Doug Collins.
You know, Pat was giving him clip
Phil
notes.
wasn't known neither. Nobody knew who Phil was other than him just being an assistant coach, and then he
Right.
became this dude. Same thing with Spoelstra. When Braun got there, we didn't know like what type of coach
Yeah.
Spoelstra was, but now Spoelstra's one of the respected coaches in the
Right,
league.
top, one of the
right?
top.
So,
Yeah.
so
because he earned that. You know what I'm saying?
right. So, but other than that, Braun ain't never had a coach. It's just plain and simple. He ain't never had
Never
like
had a coach.
technically
They even
something-
put him in check.
Right. A lot of times you think he the coach out there because he be calling the plays and he alter the plays they call in.
So you dissing Mike Brown?
Huh?
You dissing Mike Brown?
Of course.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely.
looking good in Sacramento right now.
Well, I mean, he's doing
Yeah,
all right
them
in
boys
Sacramento,
playing
but
good.
not when he was at Cleveland. He wasn't that
nah,
good of a coach yet.
Yeah, but I agree. We close that one out, but you know, it got to be twofold, right? You can't say you blame LeBron for doing everything, but then we also criticize him for relying on his teammates too much because he passes in the clutch, right?
Right.
So if you say you rely on him too much, but he give them the game-winning shots, that ain't relying on too much. You would have jacked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He'd have took. There would have been no narrative about him passing all the time in the clutch if he did everything himself. Right.
Right. He gave it
the coach
to
is part of the
D'Angelo.
blame,
Remember that game
Yeah.
for the Clippers?
Yeah.
And we go back to his whole career, right? That was the narrative on him when you compare him to Kobe and all them,
He
right?
passes in the clutch. He
Yeah.
don't always take the shot.
Yeah, you don't always make him do everything. Where were you gonna go to
So
though?
it was an argument that I was having with somebody, and it was a weird argument, but it was an interesting one because you know Denver, because of what Denver's doing and what Joker's doing, is Joker on a higher trajectory be better than LeBron?